Left wing, right wing, blah, blah, blah. Liberal, conservative. I mean, come on, really? I don't
The
think.
reason I asked the question behind your midterm goals is because the holidays are coming up here soon, and I know a lot of bands actually try and put together a little bit of a holiday show. I didn't know if you guys had talked about this or planned it, or if you have holiday music that you like to play, or if you've written stuff that you were thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in in our writing, I mean, we haven't done anything that was like traditional holiday anything, because for us to be spending time on that stuff at the point that we're at right now, I mean, we haven't even gotten a full first album finished, and I think when we get to a point where we've gotten past the stuff, the material that we've been working for the time that we have been working it, that's going to be a new adventure for us to to start developing sound as we keep going, and whether it's bringing electronic elements to it, or it's being more R&B or more funk, or whatever element stuff that we're kind of bringing into the music. That's going to kind of respin on the wheel a little bit, with the next portion of the music that we work on, and I think when you look at bands as a first album, the second album, the third album, you kind of see the progression of how they evolved over maybe the course of 2 or 3 years. There's great stuff in all of those those evolutions that they do. We're fortunate enough to have a couple of other individuals in the project. Max obviously isn't here, but we have a lot of input. We have a lot of great ideas that kind of fly around the room, and we all just kind of keep grabbing away, and I think when we get to our final product, for the first album, for the second album and whatnot, there's going to be opportunities for us to to do some stuff that's maybe holiday themed or whatever. But I mean, at that point, I don't think you'll ever see a major label act that released a holiday thing before they released their first album. If we were able to get a rock around the Christmas tree cover or something, that would be if we Thunderbirded it. I think it would.
Maybe something we released
Yeah,
online.
maybe some Nat King Cole, so Hudson could really get some range.
Just like a promo song, maybe, but
It's
Not-
my wish that we
not
do our
this
holiday
year.
album right after our second greatest hits album.
Yeah.
There you go.
And-
So next year.
Grammy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Next year. That's perfect.
Also coming soon.
Also coming soon. The holiday version.
And by soon we mean in 15 years.
Yeah.
Don't hold your breath.
The $4.99 bin at your local car lot.
Yeah.
We still could get $5 for it.
Right next to It's a Yanni Christmas.
They'll buy it just on the principle that they can't believe
Right by
we made it.
Mannheim Steamroller.
Yeah, we could open.
There you go.
No, I'm kidding.
I think as we continue to develop those, with our both our songwriting and our musical elements that we're bringing in, to the music, I think our sound will change and become something new for the three of us. I mean, our goals when we start writing music is not necessarily to just do the same old rendition of the same old stuff that we've been listening to all of our lives, but a lot of the time that's what we end up doing, because that's kind of our reference, or that's our influence, that we took from as kids. So, when we write the music that we write, sometimes it's an 80s, Beverly Hills Cop theme song.
So that's a good lead-in for my next question.
Yeah.
Was I've already asked these guys, what are your influences, and as a musician, who formed you? Who helped make you who you are?
You in particular.
Me in particular,
You in particular.
I am a bowl of mashed potatoes with a lot of different things. My upbringing in music was very diverse, with
Interesting.
No, I mean, it's not. I'm not trying to be cliche in the sense, but
It's definitely not cliche.
I. Shut up.
Mr. Bowl.
I've never heard anybody call themselves a bowl of mashed potatoes before.
Well, no, I am. You know, because the way I look at it is you know, you have a lot of people that they focus on one musical instrument or one type of sound. I did piano, I did guitar, I did drums and sang in choir since I was a real little kid, and my grandmother helped teach me how to play music when I was real little. My dad gave me my first guitar when I was 4. I started drumming when I was 5, and throughout the course of playing music, I mean, I've had so many different things that I've listened to just from the different people that I've had in my life. Anything from Pink Floyd and Hendrix and listening to the hair metal stuff of the 80s, to listening to Journey and was it not 98 Degrees.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys, that's what it was. No, but I mean, Hudson and I went to high school together, so we grew up listening to a lot of the same stuff in his POS, Yellow Bumblebee,
sexiest high
Nissan
school
Sentra.
car ever.
That thing was a beater. It was a sexy, bright yellow color. She was beautiful, Hudson. I just knock her because she was yellow. But
anybody would be proud to drive that.
We both kind of grew up listening to a lot of the same stuff, and I mean, I think we both have a very good taste for diversity in music. He and I, have sat down and listened to, jazz and classic stuff, Stevie Wonder, and obviously we've taken influence stuff from those guys and Michael Jackson and just a lot of different artists that we've all kind of grown to listen to, whether by force or by desire, over the course of our childhoods and even growing up. I've studied tons of different stuff. I know Tyson's got a lot of experience with different genres of music, and I think that's kind of what makes our sound a little bit more diverse. Is that when when people try to narrow us down into a genre or category, we bring so many different kind of flavors to things at times that it's almost hard to call it just pop rock or indie pop or alternative rock music or whatever. I mean, we've done so many different things both rhythmically and melodically that it's evolved. I mean, a lot since what we when before Tyson was here and it was just me, Hudson, and Max jamming the stuff. It's changed a bit from what we were doing back then, and obviously we pray that all the changes that we've made up to this point have been for the better, but we're continuing to develop our sound as a whole, and this guy, every time he picks up the guitar, I get to listen to something new out of him that I've never heard before, and it inspires me to do something, and every time Hudson comes over and he puts his hands on the keys, he's doing something new and creative, and I think we pull a lot of that influence from each other when it comes to writing the music. Obviously, we kind of Hudson may come in with like a particular melody or something, and you can hear Prince or you can hear Jackson 5 or Barry White. But
There's nothing better than that moment when you play a riff and then it feeds the next person, and then the magic happens, and then all of a sudden it layers up, and it's the hairs in the back of your neck stand up, and you're like, ooh, bam, there it is.